All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. Time to talk about the Moto Razr Fold 2026 after 30 days, man. It's been an official 30 days for me, and I've been really happy about using this phone daily. It is a masterpiece. It is a phone that I think a lot of people, if you decide to get it, you're really going to enjoy it. Some people are still on the fence, and people might say, oh, it's 30 days later. Yeah, some people don't have $2,000 to kick out for a phone. They have to plan. I talked about a lot of things up to this point before posting this video. In the previous videos I've done with the Razr, I've compared it some. I've shown you the cameras. I've done a lot of things with this phone. And let's start here. There were lots of deals on this phone when it initially launched. Those deals have faded now. Carriers are probably moving away from free, and Motorola has switched up their website. But you can still get a great phone even if you didn't jump out there first. Just remember to search for the deals. So first thing I want to talk about is hardware. I cannot stress enough how good this hardware is. It's just one of those phones that if you like a texture on your phone, if you wanting a slimmer phone to hold when you're making phone calls, when you're doing, there's so much that goes into this hardware. It's just, you can't put it all into like a single sentence. So let's start with the obvious, which is the inner display. The inner display is the winning point and probably the selling point for a lot of people who are looking at a phone this magnitude and this size. This is a ginormous inner display. And not only is it big, it is bright and vivid and punchy and big. It is very nice, great for watching content, great for emailing, great for texting, great for social media. Whatever your thing is for using such a large display on the internals, I think you're going to love it. Now, obviously, it has a outer display that's going to be a little bit on the narrower side, but it's big and long, and it's definitely one that you can use for text messaging and doing multi-apps, like 2 apps, one on the top and bottom. I definitely recommend that if a person decides to buy this phone. The outer display is extraordinarily useful, and that is something that a lot of foldables that came out originally, people had an opinion about whether it was usable or not on the front display, mainly pointing at Samsung at that point. But this display's hardware is absolutely phenomenal. The rear camera setup, it's growing on me. It's still not my favorite camera module, but the fact that you can sit it down flat on a table and still text and email if you need to when it's closed, because I learned that that's a big thing for a lot of people, but I personally don't do that. I just hold my phone in my hand and text with it. But in the end, the overall footprint of this phone is very nice. It's not very heavy either. You would think it would be very heavy for it being a foldable phone, a slab like this, but when it's folded, but it is not. It's still very thin also when it's closed. And I think that's important to me because I prefer a smaller footprint phone, which is why I bought the Moto Edge 2026, which I've already got a video on that for you. But I really believe that those who are looking for a foldable phone, you might have hit it and hit the lick and got a really good one if you decide to pick up the Moto Edge. Those that have not purchased it yet, you can just kind of use this video as a stepping tool for you to decide if your opinions might align with mine or not, seeing as though you don't have it. But just look at what I'm showing you here, and I think you'll be intrigued enough to at least go check it out at a local store if you can, or pull the trigger. So with hardware out of the way, beautiful inner display, beautiful outer display, beautiful feeling texture on the rear, camera module, not my favorite, but speaking of cameras, these cameras are amazing, so I can't transition past it without talking about it. So this is where a foldable meets flagship cameras in the US market. I have to keep stressing this. These are flagship cameras, again, on a flagship foldable phone. So video quality, what can I say? I've done a full video with this phone multiple times on my car channel, and I've done videos with this phone on this channel, and it's flawless. These are flagship cameras. If you want to use the terminology flagship, when you're trying to match the price though, this is probably the foldable in the United States that the cameras actually match the price, even if you don't agree with the price. Make sense? So you got this 4-camera array on the back. You can do really long zoom. And I think that is where Samsung's quality for their 100x zoom, that is one thing. And I don't use 100x zoom. I'll look at things from a distance, but taking the photo, Motorola hasn't got that dialed in yet. But going back to a regular photo, these are winning. Photos, videos, snapshot, it's not flawless and perfect, I would say, but it's totally in top tier status. These phone cameras can rival slab phones like the S26 Ultra and things like that. They definitely can, hands down. You couple that with the great hardware, couple that with you got the cameras, the hardware, you got the right footprint. It's really nice. You have solid software, but some people feel some type of way about Motorola software. I personally think the software is great. It kind of mirrors and takes notes from, Samsung when it comes to their some of the things in their software. But it also is kind of I get like OnePlus vibes when I personalize this phone. It's really good. It's just a solid, strong software suite. And I think it's just going to come down to personal preference. Some people just can't get past the fact that, Motorola software is, pretty much stock. Some people don't like stock software. I love Pixel software. But somehow Samsung has been tagged as the standard for Android just based on all the software that's baked in there. And sometimes less is more. And I like a clean, simple setup. And Motorola delivers there, just like Google delivers, and even Samsung delivers. They may have a lot of stuff baked into their software, but you can tone it, you can tame it down and get it to where you want it to be. Now, battery life. Motorola has chosen to put, a 6,000 milliamp hour battery in this thing. This battery life cannot die, will not die. I mean, folks, you're really going to have to do some serious things on the phone to get it to die in a 24-hour period. This battery is incredible. Simply put, it really is. And there's no getting around it. So I'm happy to report that my battery life definitely goes for at least 2 days. I think it would go longer if I, wasn't on the phone, because I'm not really on social media a lot. I post and get off, but as far as my phone goes, lately with this phone, I've been kind of on it a little bit more. So I could definitely get a solid 2 days out of it, which is good. When I say 2 days, I mean I'm going a full 24 hours, and then I'm ending the second day in the evening time when I hit the bed. I'm down to maybe 25% or so, or 20%. That's strong battery life for a smartphone like this, because it is a foldable phone that has this big inner display on it, and it's a bright, vivid display at that. And the outer display is also very bright and vivid. And you're going to be opening and closing the phone. When you use the cameras a lot, you're really taxing the battery. And if you're watching content a lot, social media, and you have the inner display open, you're really taxing that battery. So coupled with the right processor, the battery life can be amazing, but this has a big battery inside this thin body. It's incredible that they've done this. And I'm just really impressed with what they've done. So, 30 days later with this phone, I'm not surprised that I like it as much as I do. What I am surprised about is the lack of support for the phone from the accessories community. And that's what I'm going to talk about on the way out of here. I now finally have some cases coming for this phone, but I'm surprised that there was just nothing given for this phone. The cases that are out, most of these ones on Amazon, I'm just not interested. So good thing I have Thinborn on the way. I have Poetic on the way. I've got some brands on the way that are known for producing good products. And we're going to give you some reviews on those coming up pretty soon this week. So I'm excited to report that this phone has been absolutely great. Well, Jay, what don't you like about it? Again, no support for the aftermarket, like no accessories for it. Like screen protectors is a big thing for me. There's nothing out there. And if it is something, it's way overpriced, like ridiculous, because they know the companies that are making these products know that there's nothing else out there. So they don't want to try to tax you. And they know there's going to be people out there that are going to just jump out there and buy it no matter what the price is. So that's not me. So I hope that you guys are enjoying your Moto Razr Fold. This phone is great in every single way, man. Like it's gonna put in the work that you throw at it. It's gonna knock it out with ease. So my take on this phone after 30 days, this is in fact one of the best foldables in the US. While it doesn't do everything right, and while I don't prefer it over like some things with the Fold 7 and my OnePlus and my Pixel, it is a complete package. It is a complete package, and it does a lot of things well when grouped together. If you buy this phone, I think you're gonna really love the Moto Razr Fold. I think you're gonna love this thing. It's your man Jay. 30 days is gonna turn into 60. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.